Yo, chosen. Finding out I was a chosen changed my life. I cut a whole lot of people off, family and friends. You know what I mean? Telling somebody you the chosen and then watch them, blow up in anger and jealousy, rage. It's like you don't want to deal with it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a hatred comes along behind it. You feel me? A hatred. And it's crazy because you would think if people had met you, they would bear witness and a testament of God in front of them. Being that you are chosen, knowing the history of a chosen, created by God. He put the spirit in us, sent us, in this world. Sealed us up for thousands of years up until this point now that we all been activated. Now me, I have to say, I've been dealing with this for a long time. I just didn't know, about chosen one. But I can honestly say the first life and death situation happened right after I stopped fucking with a homie who I consider to be a demon now in the flesh. And right after that, because he introduced me to some wild shit, all kinds of drugs and shit like that. Not no heroin, crack, but all kinds of drugs at that time of e-pills. You're familiar with e-pills? You're familiar when it came out in that time. And I came home from prison on knowledge of self. I studied every religious group when I was incarcerated trying to find God. So God was up in here kind of deep. Even though I was naive, came home and started the street life, the party life, the hanging out, the hustling life, And he got me so fucked up that one day I snapped. And I was told that I was in the middle of a busy traffic street. Cars going up, cars going down. I was in between on a medium of this street. Now, I don't like talking about it, but I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real. The Lord told me to tell you, so I'm going to tell you. I was on Christ so hard. After I snapped, after doing drugs, I snapped. Because my mind wouldn't function. It just wasn't agreeing with me doing drugs, with me even smoking weed. It didn't agree. And I snapped. So they said that I was in the middle of the street on the median with a Bible in my hand. A Bible in my hand, dancing around on the median, talking about Jesus and Christ this and Christ that, and Jesus is coming back. They said I'm out there dancing to nothing. No music is playing unless it's coming from the cars at the stoplight. I'm Bible in hand, talking all kind of crazy about Christ. I snapped. All the stuff that I learned in prison about religion and all that stuff, it just came out of me, and I snapped. But what I found out was I was being attacked by demons, and I didn't know it. I was so spiritual that my entire physical frame was rejecting the intoxicants, was rejecting. Didn't want it, didn't like it. My mind wasn't with it, and I snapped. I ended up in the middle of the street on a medium, dancing around with the Bible in my hand and calling out Jesus Christ, calling out the Lord, and he coming back and all this stuff. Now, the police didn't get me. I ended up back at my parents' house, not too far away from there. So everything was good. That night, I went to my parents' house, but the very next day, I was still in snap mode. Snap mode, Jesus this, Jesus that, Christ this, Christ that, the Bible still. And they thought I was crazy, that I just went crazy and lost it. Do you know they locked me up in the basement somehow? Somehow they locked me in the basement. Yeah. And then on top of that, when they found out, that I was calm or my mind was right, did you know these motherfuckers try to get me locked up in the psych ward at the hospital? My own mother, my siblings, my own father actually drove me to the hospital and tried to get me, submitted in the psych ward. Police told her, my mother that is, ma'am, if you have him committed, then there's no way out for him. Even when he do better, there's no way out for him. Have him check himself in, that way he can check himself out. Now, I don't remember none of this on how it was done. Now, I remember, people rumoring, talking about the psych ward and how they did this to me, how they did that. But I ended up staying there. Apparently, they convinced me somehow of signing myself in. I stayed for about a week, and I was supposed to stay until I got better. Apparently, I showed I was better within a week's time. But when I got out, I still was confused. I didn't know really what was going on. And my wife now was a girlfriend of mine. She was in Miami. I couldn't take my family. I felt like they was evil and they was demons. They didn't understand my love for Jesus Christ. They didn't understand how I saw, the culture and spirituality. I was deep, deep, deep in spirituality, and the devil knew that. So what did he do? He sent my man at me. Try to get me strung out on all kinds of shit. Try to get my mind off of Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, my own parents' mother goes to church on Sunday. Still thought I was crazy. You would think a person, that goes to church, hearing somebody talk about Jesus will be rejoiced. And it's your child. And he just coming home from prison. And he trying to get his life back. You would think they'd be rejoicing that. But no. They looked down on that. They didn't understand what was going on. They didn't know how much I was into my spirituality, and my body was just rejecting the toxicants that somebody tried to trick me and doing. That's it. That's what happened to me. Shorty, my wife now, somehow I ended up on the phone with her, and she's asleep now, but somehow I ended up on the phone with her, and she was in Miami, and I begged her to come back the fuck up here to D.C. to come and get me out of this motherfucking crazy home before I either killed them, or they had me committed or try to commit me again. She came up from Miami. She quit her job that day. Matter of fact, she transferred because they was up here in D.C. She transferred, quit that joint and transferred up here, drove by herself all the way from Miami, came and took me out my parents' house, grabbed a hotel, and the rest is history. I'll tell you the rest later, because after that, I kept meeting demons and demons and demons, and all they was trying to do was destroy me. So understanding the chosen one, I can understand now why I kept meeting wicked, evil people. That's the whole shebang with my story. I kept meeting evil, wicked people ever since I came home from prison in 2000. Been at me until I relocated. I isolated. away from people. You dig? Got my own crib, truck, wife. We doing good. But I had to get out of society. I had to leave that shit before I went crazy or I drove it crazy. And then now, if I was there and you talk about me being chosen, I can only imagine what I go through with family, old friends, associates, exes. I can only imagine. So God did me justice by removing me away from all those demons that was out for me for some reason. But I still love Christ. And guess what? My love is so strong from Christ, I'm a chosen one. Even though I went through all that back up in 2000, 2003, whatever time, it was early 2000s, even when I went through all that, screaming out his name, dancing in the middle of the street with the Bible, going to the Psych ward, arguing and fighting with my family, and I'm still son of Christ. The demon, the devil, they couldn't take me away from Christ. They couldn't take me away from Christ. Now, it's more to it, but I'm going to go with that on the next go. Just know and understand, your chosen brother is here. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. God got me. That's the whole message. To the chosen, God got you.